In Mexico, Colonel John Hannibal is held captive by two corrupt Mexican officers working for the renegade General Tuco. After beaten up, he is left to be fed on by two guard dogs, but he neutralizes the animals and escapes. Hannibal quickly sets out to rescue his comrade in arms. Meanwhile, Bosco, a disgraced ranger, is seen beating up a couple of guys to retrieve his GMC Vandura van. Lieutenant Faceman Peck is being held captive by Tuco at a private ranch, where Faceman had seduced the general's wife and forced to die in a pretty nasty way. Hannibal manages to intercept Bosco and enlists him on his mission after discovering that he is equally a ranger.
Not so intelligent because you're stuck in some tires. I'm happy.
Hannibal and Bosco make it to the ranch in time to save Faceman from a nasty demise. With the trio now on the run from Tuco, they make a stop at a nearby military hospital to recruit the services of Murdoch, an insane pilot. After managing to convince Murdoch to enlist, he boards a medical chopper, engaging Tuco's men in a vicious aerial dogfight that lasts for several minutes, with several close calls which exposes Bosco's permanent fear of flying. The insane Murdoch manages to lure Tuco's chopper into American airspace, where it is destroyed by a US F-22 Raptor, capping an elaborate plan put together by Hannibal. 8 years later, after 80 successful missions together, the A-Team is now a highly regarded elite combat unit stationed in Iraq. DCIS Captain Charissa Sosa arrives the base almost at the same time with CIA agent Lynch, who reveals to Hannibal that Iraqi insurgents are in possession of US Treasury plates being used to make counterfeit currency. He wants Hannibal and his team to steal the plates and over $1 billion in counterfeit cash due to move out of Baghdad. Meanwhile, Sosa wants her ex-lover Faceman, whom along with the rest of the team she has disdain for, to stay away from the plates and out of Baghdad. When General Morrison is briefed about the CIA's mission for the A-Team by Lynch, in his absence, Morrison discourages Hannibal from embarking on the mission and threatens to withdraw any form of military support if he chooses to go on the mission. Against the advice of his commanding officer, Hannibal agrees to steal the plates, albeit in an unofficial Black Ops mission. Before Sosa could find the A-Team, they create decoys of themselves and escape the base, headed for the mission. Sosa confronts Morrison to reveal the whereabouts of the A-Team, and this leads to an intense altercation involving whose authority is superior to the other, and in this instance, Sosa wins, as she has authority under DCIS that supersedes Morrison's authority. The mission is carefully executed and expertly concluded. After a successful mission, when the team returned to base to meet their commanding officer, both the shipping container transporting the money and Morrison's Humvee are destroyed by men from the private security firm Black Forest, led by the ruthless Brock Pike. With Morrison the only evidence that they were acting on behalf of the US, the team is arrested, tried, and dishonorably discharged, and sentenced to 10 years in federal prison. 6 months later, Hannibal is visited by Lynch, who reveals that Pike may be trying to sell the plates on the black market with the assistance of a mysterious Arab contact. Hannibal strikes up a deal with Lynch, having been tracking Pike on his own from his prison cell. He proposes a clean record for himself and his team in return for the plates. After the meeting, Hannibal receives a Bible embodying a drug-soaked cigar which he uses to make himself appear dead after having a heart attack. He successfully escapes from prison and immediately breaks out Faceman from another military prison in guise of a removal man after stealing the tanning bed in which Faceman was in. Sosa is informed of Hannibal's prison break, and she volunteers to go after him, believing that the A-Team were working with Brock Pike and Black Forest. Determined to grab the A-Team once more, Sosa is unable to understand how Hannibal pulled the escape. She concludes that the CIA broke him out. Next, Hannibal and Faceman breaks out Bosco by ripping off the door of a prison bus transporting him to another prison. After a short time in prison, Bosco is a changed man, and can't seem to fit into Hannibal's plan, which involves a lot of killings. Lastly, Murdoch, the crazy pilot, is at a mental hospital in Germany, where he has been committed by distracting the hospital staff and inmates with a 3D movie, including Sosa, who witnesses the A-Team crash their van through the walls of the building to break Murdoch out of prison. Together, the four of them drive to a local U.S. military base, where they steal a military aircraft in time before Sosa and her men could get hold of them. Minutes later, two subsonic UAVs with missile lock are on their tail, and the crazy pilot does what he knows how to do best. The plane is destroyed by the drone fighters, but the team escapes inside the body of a tank on parachutes, which they fly by shooting heavy rounds off and stalling their momentum.
They're trying to fly that tank.
Not great.
At a CIA field office in Frankfurt, Germany, Agent Lynch gets word of the A-Team's activity. Sosa calls Lynch, accusing him of visiting Hannibal in prison, with conclusions that he is currently aiding and abetting him, promising Lynch that she will disappoint him if he's planning on obtaining those plates. Hannibal already knows that if Sosa is unto the A-Team, then Lynch will be unto Sosa and won't hesitate to kill her. Pike and his men will try to move the last of the plates by boarding a train to Zurich. Sosa is tipped off and saved from the line of fire of a sniper sent by Lynch, but then Faceman grabs her.
You think I came to Frankfurt to hash out some old heartbreak? No.
Pike and his goons arrive at a tower in Frankfurt with the plates along with his Arab counterpart. The A-Team launch an offensive in which they manage to reclaim the plates. Sosa recovers from the distraction, and Bosco almost escapes with the plates when Pike intercepts him and is about killing Bosco. Then Hannibal comes to the rescue, and Pike chases after them in public, but is unable to catch them. Sosa and her team arrives and takes Pike into custody. The A-Team takes the mystery Arab to a safe house. The team is shocked to discover that the Arab is actually General Morrison in disguise, who worked with Lynch and Pike to steal the plates, but then teamed up with Pike to double-cross Lynch and fake his own death. Hannibal phones Lynch, claiming to have Morrison and bargaining a deal of freedom for himself and his team, but instead, Lynch orders an airstrike to eliminate them all at once. The A-Team manages to escape, but Morrison dies in the airstrike. Lynch and his men arrive at the U.S. Embassy in Germany, where Pike is held hostage by Sosa. Lynch walks in with a paper and grabs Pike. He threatens to eliminate Pike inside the van, deciding that he is a loose end he should take care of. Realizing that their backs are against the wall, Hannibal arranges to meet Sosa, knowing her phone lines are tapped by Lynch. They agree to meet on board a cargo ship, with Hannibal claiming he has Morrison and the plates, promising to hand them over in exchange for his freedom. This forces Lynch to re-enlist Pike to go after the A-Team, and more importantly, the plates. Faceman calls Sosa on a second untapped phone he had previously given her. The A-Team travels to meet the cargo ship, where Faceman hatches an excellent plan to draw in and capture Lynch, who sets up a trap for Hannibal and his team at the docks. Faceman sets off a series of diversions to distract Lynch's men, and while at it, the plan almost goes awry when Pike fires a rocket at the ship, causing multiple containers to lose balance as they come crashing down, almost destroying the entire ship. But then Bosco manages to eliminate Pike. Lynch tracks down Hannibal and a supposedly hooded Morrison. Lynch and Hannibal get into an intense fight, which Hannibal loses, causing Lynch to shoot Morrison in the head before continuing the fight with Hannibal, who soon gets the upper hand until Lynch grabs his gun about to kill him when the container is lifted, revealing Sosa and multiple federal agents ready to shoot. Morrison is then revealed to be Murdoch in a melted Kevlar helmet. The A-Team is successful once again. By morning, the CIA shows up and takes Lynch into custody away from the grasp of Sosa. Contrary to their expectations, the military shows up and once again the A-Team is arrested for escaping incarceration. Sosa protests this, but to no avail. She kisses Faceman and promises to do all she can to set them free. In the van, the team lament their misfortune, but then Faceman reveals a key in his mouth, presumably obtained from Sosa's kiss. This is Falcon Recaps. Thanks for watching.
Holy shit! The A-Team.